Hey guys, we got a deck profile here of Marshall playing his Yubel deck. I was asked for an updated list, and he went 4-1, he said, at locals today, right?
Yes.
And you're obviously playing the new Nightmare Throne. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
All right. So, anything you would like to say about the deck before we get to it?
Really proud to play the deck because we got a lot of good cards that like just increased consistency, and also there's some fun text that you can play. So we're definitely looking forward to the new fusion that hopefully comes out in the next battle set. I would really like to have that so I could play it for Nats, because this is one of the decks that I'm considering playing for Nats. Subject to change, obviously, we're still new into the format. But yeah, I guess we'll just get into the profile though.
All right. Whenever you're ready.
We'll start with spell. No, we'll start with monsters. We'll do Yubel monsters first. So you're gonna play 3 copies of Samsara D Lotus. It's the starter, you know. Tributes for cost, so that's always great, and we'll use that for a card that we're gonna look at in a little bit. And it also has the effect to add back to hand, so you can discard it off for Super Poly for next turn if needed, or you can special it in the end phase if the original Yubel's out. And then it also adds some disruption during your opponent's turn. If they activate a monster effect, you can change the effect by tributing this, again, as cost, so no imperming. Tribute it as cost, change the effect to destroy a Yubel that you control. So it's pretty fun. I mean, just stops their blatant monster effects. There's a while, there it is. We're playing 2 copies of the new guy, Grave Squirmer. This guy, nuts, okay? So he's quick effect to summon out, and then if you control a Yubel monster, or anything that mentions it, any monster mentions it, pop a card on the field, right? So a lot of utility is we use this to increase counters for Mature Chronicle, which is very important later on. Additionally, you can banish it from grave and then summon a Yubel, or a monster that mentions Yubel, right? I'm not making that up. Banishes special a fiend monster with 0 attack, 0 defense. Even better, so you can summon up your Dark Beckoning Beasts and stuff that we'll be showing off in a little bit.
So why not play 3 of this card if it's so good?
I guess there is a universe in which you do play 3, but like I don't know, man. I feel like 2 is just appropriate because like it's not a starter, it's an extender. I don't know. Further testing, maybe. You play more than 2, but I like 2 right now. We're playing 3 copies of this card. It's all right. I mean, I guess you could cut it. Just kidding. This is the bread and butter, man. Your opponent declares an attack. Well, bam! You're not taking battle damage from attacks involving this, and also it's not dying. On summon, adds or sets a Yubel spell trap, so it's the way that you get into Nightmare Pain and Eternal Favorite. Very important cards that make this work. Once per turn, if it's destroyed, summon Yubel. Like, yucky good, right? Not much to say about that. We're playing 1 copy of Yubel. I've seen lists with 2. It's brick. It's a brick. It's a necessary brick, but I would not play more than 1. Like, it's just, And then with that, we're also playing Stage 2, Terra Incarnate. This floats into this. Whoops. This floats into this. If your opponent swings at these, even if you don't have Nightmare Pain out, they're still not dying, you're not taking damage, and they are actually inflicting damage to your opponent. If Nightmare Pain is out, they're taking double damage, essentially. This one kills the things that swing into it, too, so it's pretty good. These are also very high utility for the field spell that was just newly released. There is a universe in which you play Stage 3 Ultimate Nightmare. I want to. I kind of just put this together, and then I didn't really adjust it for like the new format. That's all the Yubel monsters that we're playing since we're talking about the field spell. Big shocker, man. We're playing 3 copies of it. Let's put the QCR in the front. So yeah, on activation, you can add or destroy a fiend from your deck, right? So add from deck to hand. This is any fiend, right? What? Any fiend. That's crazy. Okay. You can add any of your starters, or you can just destroy stuff in your deck. I mean, if you're at that point, I don't know, man. Additionally, it's a weird effect, right? So like, if your stuff gets destroyed, Yubel specifically, we'll just use this for example. So like you go, you've got your field spell out, you summon this, you have Nightmare Pain effect, destroy this, right? This is going to trigger your field spell, okay? So you're going to go chain 1, summon Yubel. Chain 2, you're going to summon, or you're going to add to your, from deck to hand, a monster. Actually, it adds from anywhere. It's really good. It's add from deck, graveyard, or banishment, okay? The whole place, right? So it adds a monster that is 1 level higher or 1 level lower than this, and then you just summon it out ignoring summoning conditions. So by destroying this, you just replace it with 2 bodies, and that allows you to go into like link plays and yada yada.
And that's where the level 3 would come, or the stage 3 would come out, right? Because then you can link off Incarnate to get the big guy.
Yeah, stage 3 would work in this case because it's level 12. The new monster that was announced is level 9. So it's some more uckiness there, man. Usually too, like, this can't be summoned back off of Eternal Favorite because Favorite can summon from Banish or Grave. So usually if this gets banished, you're just kind of like, okay, well, I can add it back with Mature Chronicle, but that's it. But now, I mean, like, the field spell just adds it back, so it's not gone completely, or it's not gone forever if it gets banished, And
Nightmare Throne's a cracked card.
It is very cracked. It's good. It's yucky good. We're playing 3 copies of Nightmare Pain. Obviously, this is what deals damage to your opponent. This is what forces them to attack. This wins you the game. Pop a Dark, add a Yubel card. It's pretty good, man. I'm playing a single copy of Mature Chronicle. I know I stated in the previous profile that I thought this card was doo-doo butt. It was until we got this new support, right? Because now we have monsters that give us multiple counters. The field spell, like you can rack up over 5 counters in one turn off of the same monsters, just spamming out, right? Because the Yubels float. And the big piece of why we play this is because of the third effect down here. If you remove 3 counters, you banish 1 card from hand, right?
Or deck,
sorry. Which, kind of sounds ucky, but not unless you banish Thunder Dragon Dark.
Who taught you this one?
Oh, and then this was a cool tech from our good pal Chewy. Please subscribe. So yes, you banish this, you add a copy of Hawk effect, summon this from your banish, slap a Colossus on top, like...
Why not, right?
Yeah, it makes your first turn end board just good.
Soul of Rage and Colossus is pretty gross.
It's very disgusting, man. Let's see. As far as other monsters we're playing, this is just an engine, right? So your Dark Beckonings, and then I'm going to play 2 copies of Spirit Gates. This adds this, right? I mean, if you pitch a field or a continuous spell, if you've got a level 10 Yubel out, just a level 10 monster, you can add a continuous spell back. So you're constantly looping these for infinite resources. Nightmare Pain, ditch that, add it back, man. If your opponent outs it with MST, because, that's really good. If they out this, add it back, man. It lets you summon 0/0 fiends from the grave, including, just all of your boss monsters, right? All of your Yubels are going to be summonable off of this, minus Ultimate Nightmare and Terror Incarnate because they have restrictions.
Nightmare Pain can also, or not Nightmare Pain, but Nightmare Throne can search this too, right?
Throne searches
Nightmare
this
Throne,
guy.
yeah. And then he gets
Who
the whole engine
searches
going.
this? Who searches this? Like, whoa. If you find yourself a little bricked up, maybe, I always normal this, add a copy of this, go into a copy of Almirage, link this off. and then that lets you like discard your spirit in hand, and then special summon the spirit, and then gets you, your Nightmare Pain. One thing I didn't mention is Nightmare Pain cannot add Nightmare Throne. Okay, so
because it doesn't state. It states it incorrectly.
Yeah. For reasons. This, however, does search it, and you play one copy of it because it's limited to one.
That's crazy.
I have never read whether or not this was once per turn.
It is
because it's not. That's why that card's limited. It's really cool. The other non-utility that we play, we play Super Poly, bud. We play 3 copies of it because your boss monster, the Loving Defender, is a Super Poly target. It's Yubel stuff, plus all effect monsters, right? You just wipe your opponent's board and then you burn them to death. It's good stuff. Additionally, you play other Super Poly targets with it as well. We're playing a copy of 1-for-1 because you can special out your Samsara Lotus. You can special out the Grave Squirmer even. I don't really know why you'd special Grave Squirmer off. It's kind of like useless to do that. But if you need to like get it into the grave, you could discard Grave Squirmer to summon your Lotus, and then that makes your Squirmer live in grave too. So pretty good utility there. We're going to play 1 copy of Tactics. I think just because the format's so hand trap heavy, we're definitely going back into it. The draw 2 is fun. I am a fan of ripping out of your opponent's hand. You can take control of their stuff too. Fun stuff. We're playing 1 copy of Call By because the Call By is just too good. And it's QCR, and why would we not play that? Like, come on. 3 Imperms as your disruption. We only play 6 hand traps in the main deck, which maybe should be changed. I don't know. But we're playing 3 copies of Imperm and then 3 Nibs in main. Baron's gone, so Nibiru's just better now. It was never bad, but at least now you can make a huge token and stick it in attack mode or defense, whichever stat is bigger, and then during your turn, summon your Yubels and then punch your opponent to death because they made a token. We're playing 1 Unchained Red Dog. I looked over and just completely forgot that there were more cards. This guy's an extender. He's limited to 1, so he's just kind of poop. I'm not playing any Unchained spell traps. I think they're bricky. I don't think they're necessary. They offer some disruption, but 9 out of 10 times I found myself just siding those out. This being a quick effect to pop a card in hand too, if this gets impermed, it's really good. And also, it's just another way to pop, right? So if you pop your Yubels and then they float into the next and you just get more counters. So it's a way to accumulate a lot of counters on the Mature Chronicle. We're still on 2 copies of Eternal Favorite because this card is just disgusting good. Quick effect, summon back a Yubel from grave or banish. It lets you float. Or it just keeps bodies, right? And then also Super Polys with the original Yubel. It's, gross. 1 effect per turn though, so keep that in mind. We'll go into the extra. We'll start off with the links.
This is 40 card main.
Yes, it's 40 card main. We're playing 1 copy of SP, 1 Unchained Yama, and then 1 Unchained Soul. What is your name? Soul. SP's good. You get 2 Fiends. Make this. Adds your Shavara. At some point, link it off. Make it to the rage, and then your opponent's turn, you steal you link off their special summon, and then make the SP. It's good. And then these have grave effects. If your stuff gets destroyed, you can literally honestly, you could summon this back and then link away again. Typically, you don't do that. You can also just summon your Yubels back after they're destroyed. We're playing 1 copy of Almirage. It's just a link off for the Dark Beckoning. That's about it. And you can also make SP out of it too. We're playing a small XE's package. Like, this is actually more XE's monsters than I expected. I guess, like, the spicy one is Djinn, right? It's a monster negate and burns for 500. It's 2 level 2s, so it's double Dark Beckoning. It's mostly just utility. You probably never make this. If you're running pot, you can pot that away. Playing Choo Choo Trains. 2 level 10s, burn for 2k. This won me a game today because I won in time. You also just rank it up. Detach 1. This guy gains 2k. It's an OTK if your opponent doesn't have anything in, you know. You hit him for 8k right here. We're playing one of this new guy whose name I have to read. Varudus, the final bringer of the end times. Oh God. Get your Bibles out. Rank 10, Omni Negate. Additionally, if you negate something, detach another thing, and then destroy a card on your field, you could use that for, you know, that could be a utility. If it attacks, I think you blow something up. Let's see. At the start of damage, if it attacks while it has material, destroy 1 card in the field, non-target. And then if this is destroyed, you non-target, destroy 1 card in the field. So he's Baron, but with consequences for getting rid of it. I think I said
Baron died for his sins.
Baron died for the sins of this guy. But also, we don't care about Baron. I hate Baron. We're playing 1 Typhon. I mean, it's just generic, man. It's easy to make. You slap it on your highest attack monster, which is usually a 0, and it's funny. This is for your big nasty boards. Again, Baron actually being banned made this worse because I don't know. You'll get maybe some matchups where they have nasty big attack mode monsters, and non-target shuffling away is always good. It outs Dragoon. Is anyone still playing Dragoon? I don't know. Who? It outs Baron. Konami outed Baron.
This Pater.
Oh, Pater. Yeah, whatever. Super Poly targets. We're playing a Garura. We're playing the God card Moo Dragon, and then we're playing a Dragostapelia. I don't think this was in my previous list, but now that Colossus is back, I think it's just funny to like Super Poly up Colossus for a negate. Like, it's fun. Yep. I don't know. Did we have Dragostapelia in 2019? Cool. Speaking of the devil, we play 1 Colossus. It's pretty good, man. Stop your opponent from searching. It's droll. And also, you want to attack it to kill it? Well, sorry, we just banished stuff.
Have you ever protected it with Hawk and then reshuffled your whole hand back?
No, not yet. I got Omega ripped, and they ripped the Hawk out of my hand, so I was like, oh yes, God, let's draw more. And then we're playing 2 copies of our boss monster, the Goth Makonko herself, Yubel, the Loving Defender, forever. I mean, man, she's generic super poly targeted. If you've got Yubel, she eats all of your opponent's effect monsters, wipes the board. Can't be killed by card effects. You can summon it back with over half of the stuff in your deck, man. If she battles, your opponent eats the damage at the end of damage calc because they eat the attack points of their monster and then it banishes it. So it gets rid of some pesky cards. Yeah. She's great. I'm not going to reveal the whole side because my side was not equipped well for this.
No spicy techs?
No spicy techs. I'll say Lancia. I am probably going to continue to side these because, you know, if you go first, your opponent could evenly, and that really cucks your board, man. So do this so they don't get banished. This saved me from getting hand ripped from the Omega earlier. Yeah, because it was funny. Cosmic, you can chain that so your stuff doesn't get cosmic. I'm playing triple skill drain in my side. I did have this in the main when I went to rally, and it performed phenomenally. But I think just with the introduction of the new cards, this needed to be pushed to the side. I don't know. There's probably a universe where it stays in the main. But negating the effects of your own Yubel monsters is just hilarious because the effect of you can't be destroyed by battle is just non-existent anymore. So you crash Spirit into their monster, and if you've got Nightmare Pain out, obviously they take the damage. And because Nightmare Pain states that your opponent takes all damage, you don't take any at all, even though the Yubels are negated, right? So you crash one Yubel, it floats into the next. You crash the next one, it floats into the next. You crash the other one. It can float into the next if you're playing Ultimate Nightmare. And then this card just summons back your spirit, and then you just do it all again. I honestly,
not once per turn floaters.
It's not once per turn, man. And also skill drain just like stops everybody else from playing because it's funny. I had a match in Rally where this man had Snake Eyes Ash out and then like I think a Poplar or something, and I don't know, for whatever reason he didn't switch him to defense mode when it went to his turn, and I was like, okay. So it was Ash beatdown. Good stuff. And then lastly, a card that I honestly recommend playing right now. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. Is Rivalry. All your stuff is Fiends, so you don't have to worry. Kills Branded, kills Centurion. What other good deck does this kill? Doesn't kill Tempai, so don't play this against Tempai. It just kills a lot of decks, man. Like, it's so funny. I love Rivalry. Floodgates. Stop it. But I mean, if you ain't playing Floodgates, you're not playing the game right. That was over half my side. I'll just show the rest. I played a Duster, didn't side it in. I played 3 Cosmics, didn't side them in. I guess it's for the Runic matchup. I'll probably still continue to play these. I played 3 Evenlies. Whatever, man.
For the Runic matchup?
It's evenly for the Runic matchup, I played Change of Heart.
Not for the Runic matchup.
Not for the Runic matchup. But honestly, like, I did steal a monster, slapped a Typhon over it, shuffled their thing away, and then I hit them with Typhon directly. So, I don't know. Change of Hearts, it's about as yucky as you think. So, I said I wasn't going to show the side, but that was it.
Any closing statements you'd like to say about the deck?
If you nib your opponent, you need to use Hippo tokens.
Oh, yes.
It's the humiliation of getting nibbed, and then, you just, haha, here's a Hippo, man. Closing statements about the deck. It's still a work in progress. I think it's very good. This is a very good way to play it right now. I am interested in hearing changes that other people have too, and then also, if I think they're bad, I'll tell you that I think they're stupid.
So be sure to leave it in the comments so you can roast you in them.
Absolutely. We'll do shout-outs. We'll shout out to 4 Horsemen Comics and Games. That's our OTS, man. That's our locals. They're great. They're here in Morgantown, West Virginia. Stop by. We'll shout out to Chewy Plays Cards. If you're watching his channel right now, that's his hand. We'll shout out to Ethan. I don't know why, but he's a big shout out.
He's the Runic player that we're excited to use.
Shout out to Zach. Listen, if you go to YouTube and you type in YCS, where do we go? Richmond? YCS Richmond 2024. 23? What year is this?
2024.
We went in 2020.
No, it was last year, bud.
What year? What month is this?
April. It was last year.
I don't know. He was playing Vanquish Soul. Anyways, if you look at the beginning of the video, he does a funny dance. So shout outs to Zach for his funny dance. Shout out to my mom. Just kidding. Yeah, that's all. Thank you, everyone.
All right, thanks for watching, everybody. It's a little bit of a longer one, but needed to explain some of the stuff in it. Remember to comment, rate, subscribe. Let him know if you think you change anything to make it better or worse.